I think the main thing is if you want to change, you can change. And that's why when we go and do hypnotherapy, you have to be ready to change because you are not the problem. You were not born doing anxiety. You learned to do it. By changing your habit, you're changing your reality.
Hi everyone, and welcome to the podcast Fly with Mel. I use this podcast to talk about all the personal development that we can get by living far from home. I tell some stories, but most of the time I invite people that I meet along the way to share their own. This podcast is an open door to the world because I truly believe that everyone you meet has something to teach you. So I invite you to take a seat and enjoy the flight. Hi everyone, so today I'm with my friend Sandra, a clinical hypnotherapist. Hi Sandra.
Hi Mel.
Thank you for being here with us to talk about how hypnosis can change our habits.
Thank you for having me.
So we're going to deep dive into the subject. But before we start, I would love our audience to know who you are. And I like to start with an icebreaker. So generally, I just ask people to tell me 3 things that define you.
Okay, so I'm Sandra. And if I had to say 3 things that define me, I would say that I'm a passionate person. I'm quite empathetic, and I am positive. Like I'm bright, I'm positive, and I like to say things in a positive way.
Okay, and I can tell. I can see that you're bright here. To give a bit of context, we are now in lockdown in Australia. So we are doing this podcast through a Zoom session. So I can see Sandra here on my camera. We are not together. And I know that she can also do hypnosis and hypnotherapy through Zoom, but we're going to deep dive into this. So Sandra, who are you? What do you do? And how long have you been in Australia for?
I've been in Australia for almost 10 years now, and I'm a clinical hypnotherapist, strategic psychotherapist, and NLP practitioner. So that's what I do as a full-time job.
Wow. Okay. So can you tell us just a bit about your journey to become a clinical hypnotherapist? So what's your career background?
Yeah, so I used to work in IT. So I worked in IT for over 15 years. I used to work in IT when I was in France, and I used to love taking care of people. I mean, which I still do. So I worked as an account manager. I worked as a recruiter, and I just didn't like IT. So to become a clinical hypnotherapist, I had to go through it myself. I undertook a therapy for over a year and a half, and I absolutely loved it. It changed the way I am. It literally changed my life. So I always wanted to work and help people. I just didn't really know how. And by being in IT for such a long time, I couldn't, the older you get, the more you know who you are too. And it just didn't align to my values anymore. So when I discovered hypnotherapy, did it to myself, then halfway through my treatment, I was like, that's it. It was almost a calling. I don't know if we could say a calling, but I take it like that. I'd absolutely love it. Love it.
Like you felt straight away that it was something you wanted to also do for other people.
I knew I would become a hypnotherapist. I don't know how else to explain. I knew that would be what I would do. I knew it.
So you were in IT, and now you're in a totally different direction in your life. This is crazy. Were you afraid to take the risk or to change your life?
I honestly, when I say it was my calling, Mel, I was not afraid, not once. And I used to be really scared of life. I used to fear things a lot. So I worked in IT for 15 years, hated IT just because I really liked the people I was working with. The IT itself, it's not something I'm interested in. So after a while, selling and doing something I had no interest, something I couldn't understand because I was not interested, something I felt a bit useless, and helpless, which didn't align to my values because as I was going through my therapy, I learned to love myself. I learned to understand my emotions, my values. And as I was growing as a person, loving myself more, then my values slowly started to be not aligned at all with what I was doing. And I mean, I was scared to take the leap, but the motivation, the passion, the calling was bigger than the fear. I knew I would make it work. I knew it. So I just went for it.
And you just made it.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
I love it. When I've met you and you talked to me about all of this in your career journey, I was in the back of my mind. I was always also thinking it's crazy because I'm meeting a lot of people now and then who are like doing Reiki, hypnotherapy, meditation, like all these kind of new healing therapy, I would say. Do you think it's like a new trend, or do you think like how would you explain that the fact that people are more and more into these kind of things more than just going to see a psychologist, for example?
I think people want to try. I think people want to go to the root of the problem,
Mm-hmm.
and people want to do gentle therapies. Something that is more comfortable for the soul as well.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where mindfulness and meditation and hypnotherapy are very close together. They're very aligned, actually, because when you meditate, and I would put Reiki apart, but meditation, mindfulness, and hypnotherapy, I would put them together. Because when you meditate, you turn your attention inward. And that's what you do when you are in a hypnotic state, when you are in trance. So I would put them really together. And it really allows you to be aware of different like subjects, like different suggestions. When you do guided meditation, you dissociate yourself from your body. You go in a different state. And that's where you've got all the different possibilities open for you. So today, Reiki is beautiful because it related to your energy. And however, I don't know enough to talk about it, so I
did a
would put it
podcast.
aside.
I did a podcast on this. So if anyone is interested in,
Yeah,
I put this here.
I am.
You have a podcast on this.
Cool.
But yeah. So you were just saying it's more comfortable to do that. So what would be the difference
Yeah.
with a psychologist then? What's the difference?
So the difference is, especially as I'm a strategic psychotherapist, the way I work with my patients, a psychologist goes into the why you are the way you are. So when you go and see a psychologist, you are going to understand that because you do anger or you do anxiety because of an abusive mother or a father that was not present or whatever, which is important. It's important to understand why you are the way you are. However, the way I work with my patient, we are going to go into the how you do the problem, how you do anxiety, how you do low self-esteem, how you do phobias, because you are not the problem. You were not born doing anxiety. You learned to do it, to be safe, to feel safe. It's a pattern that you created. And that because you repeated this pattern over and over and over again, it became a habit, kind of. It became something completely unconscious. And yeah, psychologist is going into the why. Psychotherapy, hypnotherapy, we're going to the how you do the problem. And to do a problem, there's a series of steps. I'm going to explain my patient how they do it. And when they are in a hypnotic state, I'm going to go break the pattern so I can create a new one.
Okay.
With different suggestions.
Yeah. So would you say that psychology is more like looking into the past?
Yeah,
and
definitely.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Very exactly. So psychology is going to the past. I'm really focused on the present and the future.
Okay.
Thank you, Mel. Actually, really good point. Yeah.
But okay, so what can we cure with hypnotherapy? And can we say we cure something when we do hypnotherapy?
So I wouldn't say cure, just because if we say cure, it means that we are labeling something. And when I work with my patient, we don't label. I don't label. When you put a label on someone, it makes the problem unchangeable. So I am anxious because the fact that you are labeling yourself as being anxious because you almost make the problem unchangeable. So that's what we are going to work on. So I wouldn't say cure.
Okay.
I would say change.
Okay. So
we can change how we are doing things. Yeah.
But for anything, like really anything, we can change anything, any habits that we have.
Yeah.
Like
100%.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
we can change. I think the main thing is if you want to change, you can change.
Okay.
And that's why when we go and do hypnotherapy, you have to be ready to change. You have to be willing to change because it's a therapy. So yeah, but everybody can change. Definitely.
Okay.
Definitely.
And when you say we can change, is it about just like habits or changing, I don't know, personality or something which is like part of you? Or yeah, I'm just trying to understand if are we changing habits only, or and if habits only, which kind of like you just said anything, but
yeah,
I would like to have like some example maybe to understand.
If you change a habit, you ultimately will change the way you are.
True.
Because you are going to look at your reality in a different way. By changing a habit, you're changing your reality. By changing your reality, you're changing. And when I say changing reality is we all see the reality the way we want at a special moment in our life, because we have to navigate through life. And for example, when from 0 to 7 years old, that's when we create cognitive behaviors. That's how we create our personality, kind of. And then it keeps going on. But from 0 to 7 years old, we have cognitive behaviors. A cognitive behavior is basically our way of thinking, our way of seeing the world. And to navigate through the world, we have different cognitive behaviors. Some people are more pessimistic. Some people are more optimistic. So they're just going to see the world in a different way with a different lens. They're going to have different values. And as you change, and that's how hypnotherapy can help, as you change the cognitive behavior, what's underlying, what's at the back of your mind, what's been running in autopilot for so long, once you go there, change it and create a new behavior, a new way of thinking, then out of a sudden, you're going to look at the world with a different lens. For example, if you want to buy a yellow car, you will see people with yellow cars everywhere. You're going to be aware. Like if you want to be in a relationship and you think like desperately want to be in a relationship, you're going to see happy couples everywhere, you know? But there's also single people next to you. But you go where your reality goes. So by changing a habit, you're just going to look at the world in a different way. You know, like from some, I used to be like that. I attract wrong guys. I attract wrong people. And again, we could start talking about the law of attraction, which I don't know enough to talk about it. However, my view on this is law of attraction, I would say you kind of don't attract, it's more where you look. Okay. If you keep looking for the bad guys, but it's unconscious, you don't even realize you're looking for the bad guys or the bad girls, you know, or whoever, or whatever. If your focus goes to these people, how can you don't have space to look for something else? If you really want a yellow car, you're not going to pay attention to the red cars. Sure. Does it make sense? I don't know if it's clear.
Totally makes sense. It's very, very clear. It's like your attention goes where your focus goes. It's like
completely.
Yeah. you focus on the things
Complete.
that you're thinking about all the time. So
Yeah.
like, of course you're not, you're just gonna
Yeah. Yeah. And you
stick
create
to,
your reality.
you create
Yeah.
your own reality. It's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
So by changing the habit,
Mm-hmm.
you are changing slowly. You're just gonna, if you're a pessimistic person and out of a sudden we work and I teach you to be more optimistic, you're just gonna see the world in a different way.
Yeah.
So slowly your eyes, they're gonna look for other stuff in the world.
I love that.
That's how your life's going to change.
Yeah. I love it. I love all of this. I totally agree completely. I think the world is in a certain way, and then you adjust your reaction to what's happening to you in this world is just the way you decide this reaction. You decide the way you want to see
Completely.
the things. And yeah, it's just about your reaction to the situation. And so your reaction can be linked to habits, as you just said, or to your personality or whatever. I love that. I love all of this. I just heard when I was trying to do some researches about hypnotherapy, and I was
Yeah.
reading some stuff about sometimes to change a habit, you have to replace it by another habit. So would you say that when you're doing a session, would you replace the habit of someone by another habit? For example, if you're helping someone to get rid of an addiction, let's say someone comes to you to stop smoking, okay?
Yeah.
Would you help him to stop smoking by replacing the smoking action by another one?
That's a good question. So everybody works differently. For the quit smoking, to take your example, I first would understand what is the root cause of the smoking. Does the person smoke because it's a habit, because of boredom, because of anxiety, because of social interaction? There's different reasons why you smoke. So I would really go again, how do the person smoke?
Mhm.
How the problem is made? And it really depends how it is, but I would not replace a habit by another one. I would teach the tools so the person, and I would basically bring people back in charge of themselves.
Okay.
It's all about learning that you are in charge of yourself, of your behaviors, of your actions. And it's about which thoughts you pay attention to. So I would explain, I spend a lot of time explaining to my patient how they do the problem.
Mm-hmm.
It's important for me that they understand how they do it. And then I'm going to go in their resource. If a person smoke because of anxiety, there's a time when this person doesn't do anxiety. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to bring the resources of this person and put them into the problem space whilst the person is open to suggestion in a hypnotic state. Mm-hmm. I'm going to bring the resource they have and tell them that they can use all the resources they have into the problem space. Okay. I'm teaching them to do things differently.
Is it like teaching them to be more in control?
100%.
Okay.
It's almost like teaching a kid, educating a child. You know, when you teach someone to do things differently with a different length, you know, when someone is open to suggestion, open to possibilities, that's what I'm doing. Mm-hmm. When the person is in trance, they are completely open to suggestions.
Okay.
I'm going to not replace, because at the end of the day, the patient does it. You do whatever you want, you know. I'm no one to replace. I wouldn't know mm-hmm. what habits you want to have, what new habits you choose. Mm-hmm. I'm making suggestions, and then it's up to you.
I like the example you just mentioned about we are like kids and we need to be educated and we can start from scratch all the time.
That's it.
Can we really change any type of habit at any age? Like, would you say that our brain can change the way it works at any age?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I would 100%. Yeah, we can change. If you want to change, you change. I really thought I couldn't change, and I really changed. And I believe it, and that's why I'm so passionate about what I do, because I've really struggled for years, really. And I changed. I did a 360, like when I flipped and I changed, and it's possible. Yeah.
As long as you want, you can. Yeah.
Exactly. You have to be willing to change.
I'm curious to know how does a session work? How hypnotherapy works? So can you just tell us a bit more about how do you hypnotize people? How does it work?
So it's different for everyone. Hypnotherapy is a very subjective experience. It's basically, I put you in a session, typical session would be an hour and a half. We go into your problem. I ask you a series of questions. I understand how you do the problem. We understand where your gaps are, what you've been doing not so good, so I can then tap into your unconscious mind and replace what you've been not so good and replace with good, like not good, but different suggestions. So I'm going to ask you a series of questions. Then I would put you in a hypnotic state. So trance is basically a focused and absorbed attention. It's turning your attention inward. When you go for a run, or you are completely absorbed by a very interesting movie or an interesting book, or even when you fall asleep, you have a state where you go to bed, and there's the go to bed, being awake, and the falling asleep. In between, there's you are in trance. Okay. So when you do all of that, you are in trance. You are very focused and absorbed. So I'm going to make you close your eyes. You can be in trance with your eyes open. Why we close the eyes? Because there's so many cues. Our brain has so many information, visual information, kinesthetic information is the feeling. So if you have your eyes open, you are just going to be more inclined to be distracted. You can go in trance, but so I'm going to make you close your eyes. So you focus your attention on my voice. And then I'm going to it depends who you are, and if you had hypnotherapy before, if you meditate. Some people go very quick in trance. Some people, it takes a bit longer. And then it's my job. I'm going to give you, I'm going to make you feel very comfortable. And slowly, you're just going to go deeper. You're going to be very relaxed. And your attention is going to be more and more focused on my voice. And that's when I'm going to start making suggestions. And there's really different things we can do when you're in trance. I can give you just normal messages, the messages we would have talked about in the session. I use psychotherapy, or I can use metaphors. I can use story. I can tell stories to pass a message. I can dissociate you. Hypnotherapy is about dissociation. I have to dissociate you from where you are.
So what does it feel to be hypnotized? Like, because you were talking about trance, and I can feel it. So for me, it's the state of flow. I guess it's a bit like the same. Like when I'm running, I know I'm very, very focused on my things. Or I like the time in between going to bed and falling asleep. Yes, I understand what you mean. So is it exactly the same feeling, being like focused, but not like, I don't know, it's like I couldn't even describe the feelings with words, but yeah, I don't know. Do you have like words for the feeling we have when we are like really in trance in hypnotherapy?
Well, I would say you're very focused and absorbed by something, so, and you turn your attention inward.
So our brain is,
so you are inward, and you are open to possibilities. You can dissociate yourself from your physical self. When you run and you are so focused, there's nothing else around you. Or when you read a book, you are completely immersed in the story. you dissociate yourself, you can imagine, visualize, picture. That's exactly the same state when you are in trance, when you close your eyes and you listen to my voice. And some of my clients say, I was so deep, Sandra, and then I came back up, and then I went back up, but at any time you are in control of yourself.
Okay, this it's just, it feels crazy what the brain can do.
Yeah.
Can we get stuck in this trance state?
No, you
or?
can't.
Okay.
No, you can't. No, absolutely not. If you don't want to go in trance, you won't go in trance.
Yeah.
By the way,
Okay.
if you don't want to be hypnotized, you won't be hypnotized. If you're resistant, there's nothing I can do.
So if we're resistant, it's not gonna work for us. That's what you mean?
Yeah, it's we would work together. There's different things then I can do to make you trust me as well, so your brain can be at ease. But if what I want to say is, you are in control at any time.
Okay.
It's really up to you.
It's up to you.
I'm not in control of you.
But it can be for anyone. Like as long as we work
anyone.
Okay. As long as we work on our brain and like letting go a bit and being okay to let you go into our brain, kind of.
Completely.
Anyone can be in trance.
Anyone can be in trance.
Wow.
And it's a beautiful, very comfortable experience. It's very gentle.
I want to try it now. I'm like, whoa.
we will.
Crazy.
We'll do it together.
It's just crazy what we can do with the brain. I mean,
it's beautiful.
Yeah, I feel like it's do we need, like, how many sessions do we need if we wanna change a habit or something?
It's different. Again, it's different for everyone. Some people come to see me for quit smoking, and they do anxiety really well. So I'm gonna have to tap into anxiety first. Otherwise, because the cigarette is their coping mechanism. Yeah. with the way they do anxiety. So let's say if they come to quit smoking, we might need more than 5 sessions, because we would have to work on the anxiety first. Some people come, they do anxiety, and 5-6 sessions. I would say 5-6 sessions is a good start. Okay. 5-6 sessions, we can definitely see results.
Okay.
Yeah. Again, it's different for everyone. But
do you have other example of stuff like you were helping people on? You were working on, like, just to give an overview of what you do, your work.
So I'm working on the way people do anxiety. Anxiety is usually the underpinning to a lot of things. So recently I worked with someone who had a needle phobia. It's interesting when you in this world, you understand how many people have phobias. It's phobia is a big one. And the underpinning to phobia is anxiety. So we would work on anxiety, and NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, which I do as well, works very well on phobia.
What is it exactly, NLP?
So NLP is really the reprogramming of the brain.
Okay.
It's fascinating. I absolutely love it. It's really cool. Okay. You can do really cool stuff with NLP. So I use NLP a lot in my sessions, which makes it a bit different as well. My patient really enjoyed the little exercise we do with NLP. So anxiety is a big one. Low self-esteem is a big one, because the relationship you have with yourself is going to trigger the relationship you have with friends, with partners, etc. So phobias, is a big one. Procrastination is way more. Yeah. Motivation and procrastination. The thing is, procrastination, low self-esteem, anxiety, they're very tied together. Okay. Because when you do procrastination, you avoid doing things. The more you avoid, the less you trust yourself. that you can do things. The less you trust yourself, the bigger your low self-esteem is. True. Because you don't trust yourself, you can do things. So you have a low self-esteem.
It's a spiral.
It's a spiral. And then you do anxiety. Because anxiety, you avoid doing things. You procrastinate, you become anxious because you go in the future. You don't know the what ifs. They're all so closely together. Social anxiety is a big one too. Big one. Yeah.
I feel like we could all anyway feel some anxiety and stress. I feel like it's a normal state. I mean, it's normal to feel sometimes overwhelmed with what's happening and everything. But to just pick one thing to come to you.
Honestly, what I do, I help people who have problems. And more than we think, like we all struggle at some point in our lives. Yeah. And when you come do a session with me, I'm going to psychoeducate you. I'm going to teach you, share with you the knowledge I have. So I'm going to give you the tools so then you can go out in the world and use these tools and change. Mm-hmm. And what's beautiful is my patients now, they tell me that they hear their reality changed and they hear their friends, they hear the people they hang out with, and they're like, I hear the way they talk and I can see how they're doing the problem because now they have the tools. Mm. And that's what I really love. It makes me so proud of them when they tell me and they're like, Sandra, now I know, I hear how she does this or he does that. They change and then their reality changed. It's really cool.
And you can be proud of yourself as well because you are helping them. So you are opening up.
I'm very proud of myself. Yeah, I am. Yeah.
What's the most rewarding experience you had with a client? If you have any story that you could share with us.
I have a few and I love them all.
Let's go for them.
No, like it's one of my patients, she came and she was really, really scared of being single. She's never been single in her life and she had a poor relationship with herself. So very positive person, etc. She just didn't know how to be alone. And she was really scared of being alone. So we worked on that. And today, I mean, after 6 sessions, she's just not the same person. She's incredible. I'm so proud of her. She's beautiful. Like she knows how she does it. She used to be so scared of life that she would plan everything. You know, which is a good, in a way, it's good to be organized, but she would, on the weekend, she almost had to make a list of what she would have to do because she wanted to be in control of the externals to make her feel better. Today, she's just living life. And I remember one day, she told me, she's like, I didn't make any list this weekend and it was so good because she's living life one day at a time. She doesn't have to plan because when people plan too much, the more you want to control what you can't control, the more you create the chaos inside of you because you cannot control anything outside of you. Mm-hmm. So this was a big change. My beautiful patient with the needle phobia. He came and he's 30 years old. He couldn't get a blood taken, couldn't get a vaccine since he was 10 years old. And after 3 sessions, he got his jab. I have the quit smoking, procrastination. My beautiful patient, she came and she lost all motivation, didn't know what to do, didn't know where to start. And after 1 session, she, boom, back on track. Incredible. Incredible.
That's
More
crazy.
pumped than ever. Yeah, it's beautiful. I have so many. I have weight loss as well.
I can see your
Uh,
eyes. You're like, it's like they're shining.
yeah,
I can feel the love for your work. It's
yeah,
just crazy.
yeah.
Sandra, would you say that you can help any type of people, or do you have a specific like target audience? How can people find you? Like, tell us a bit more about that, because I'm sure a lot of people would be interested to call you or to have a session
Yes,
with you.
thank you. So my target is basically women between 28 and 45, I would say, with low self-esteem, people who do anxiety.
Mm.
That's my target audience. However, I have more and more men calling me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I work a lot with men. Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm really pleased that they're coming to see me because they need help, like everyone.
Exactly. We all need help at some point.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
So I'm really focused on anxiety. And because, as I said, it's the underpinning. Once we tap in the anxiety, then we can unlock different things, the confidence, the procrastination, the quit smoking, the alcohol, the weight loss, the phobias, all of that.
And so because we are in lockdown now, can you still like do it maybe through Zoom, or how can someone
Yeah.
reach you? Okay.
Yeah, definitely. Online sessions work as good as in person.
Okay.
I did a few training online. You can go it's the same. As long as I can see you and see your here,
Yeah.
I need to see
Shoulder.
your shoulders, I need to see your face, and we need to have a good connection because it's all about the voice,
It's
you
all
know?
about the voice. Yeah.
It's all
So,
about the voice and what you say.
so I guess you can also do it like internationally, like even in French and English.
I do it. I do it in France. Yeah. So I have UK clients. I have Dutch clients. I have French clients,
Wow.
patients. Yeah. So I do it online, and it works. And it works.
Yeah.
It works perfectly. Yeah, they love it.
Right.
Yeah.
You're traveling through your work. I love that. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I feel like I've learned a lot, and I feel like I definitely want to be in in trance in a session with you very soon. Right now, do you have any last thing you would like to share with anyone who is still a bit scared about getting a session, but
Yeah.
interested, like curious? Because I think that a lot of people can be very curious, but still a bit scared.
Yeah.
You know?
So I would say, let's have a chat. I always have a call first with people who are interested. Come and have a chat with me and have a first session, because you have nothing to lose, And also what I would like to offer in this podcast, for everyone who send me an email or get in touch with me and saying fly with Mel, I will offer 20% off of the first session.
Woo! Wow!
So
Thank you.
yes,
Thank you so much.
yes.
I didn't know
So
that. It's a surprise. Thank you so much. That's really cool.
yes, I really want people to know that hypnotherapy is not woo-hoo. It's scientifically based. It's scientifically proven.
Mhm.
It helps people. And if you want to change, you can change. And it's so powerful once you get the tools. And my mission today, Mel, and thank you so much for having me in this podcast, because I want people to know that there's different therapies out there. People have been in therapies for years and years and years, spending thousands of dollars or euros, and they still have the problem. Hypnotherapy, psychotherapy, and NLP can really help you change. It's comfortable. It's short, because what I do is outcome based and solution focused, and you learn to do better in the world.
I totally believe in all of what you just said.
Yeah.
And
So
anyway,
try it.
try
Try
it.
it.
Yeah,
That's
try
what
it.
yeah.
As you
Try
said,
it.
we have nothing to lose, and
Yeah.
maybe you're gonna change your life by just trying this kind of new therapy. With a beautiful
And
woman like you, I'm sure
thank you.
we can have a lot of good outcomes anyway.
Yeah, and also like it's all about action.
Mhm.
When you start doing something, then the rest unfolds.
Exactly.
So yeah, so my website, www.newpath hyphen hypnotherapy.com.
Okay. Thank you so much again, Sandra, for all these beautiful insights that you were just sharing with us.
Thank you, Mel. Thank you very much for having me. It was so good.
I hope you enjoy the podcast. Be happy, stay safe, and take care.